Welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Shadow Galvantula in the open Great Lake here. It only took me 3 hours to find one in the wild. Took me around 100 rocket grunts to find a Galvantula there. I had a Joltik before from it, but like I got the second reward. Like you can get this I think only for the bug type version of the rocket stop there. So like I had the Joltik first and I had like a Weedle as a second Pokemon. Of course I got the Weedle then. So it took me basically 3 hours total grind today to just get one of those Pokemon here. That's very cool. But here we see already we're going to be able to one-shot this Trevenant. And in general, how did it go? Here my opponent first off going to forfeit already. I went 7-3 with this team here in general. You're going to see, of course, all sets again. I did already 2 other videos about 2 new Shadow Pokemon. If you missed them, definitely check out the channel. Also subscribe and like if you haven't already. But, so 2 sets for each of them. And in general, I didn't have a single negative set with either of them, which is kind of wild. So can recommend you all the teams that I showcased today. I went from I think 2690 to 2906 MMR, which is pretty nice. And yeah, what can I say about the Galvantula? What's my opinion about it? I had great fun playing with this Pokemon. It was amazing to play. I enjoyed it all the time here. You're going to see that I can just farm them down, and the cool thing now is I will be able to get enough energy to get to 1 lunch, and I will be able to win CMP against the incoming Swampert, which has a move stored, and this will easily knock them out now because we have the Shadow Boost there. But in general, a lot of times I feel like that the Shadow Boost didn't really help me. Like I feel like from all the Pokemon that I tried to play today already as a Shadow, this one had like the least effect at least. I might just be like biased from what I've seen like in my recent games. I kind of have to take a look at the games here as well. Maybe I see some more scenarios where the Shadow bonus really helped me. But you're already a squishy Pokemon, you already don't really have the best stat product, now you are even more squishy. Even though like your fast move damage is going to be insane now. Like Volt Switch already one of the strongest fast moves in the game in terms of the damage it deals, also the energy that it generates. But here is also, by the way, why I built this team here. This team worked really well. You're weak against Trevenant though, like be careful about that one. Trevenant is kind of tricky to deal with, and also Altaria is tricky to deal with. But here we will see that because I have the Wild Charge on my Dubwool, I will be able to usually get out the flying types against my Dubwool as a safe swap here. Being able to go for Wild Charge allows me here to get a double shield advantage and switch advantage, which is wild. I'm going to no shield here, expecting them to try to bait me. Didn't work out. Doesn't really matter too much either, though, because I can just go for 1 charge move here, shield 1 more time, farm them down. That should be fine here. As we see that they're going to most likely go for the bait now, because it's an obvious one that I have to shield this move here if they have for example, I don't know, like another steel type in the back there, like the Bastion. I would have needed my Medicham. Here we see the Lantern, which is fine for us because we will be able to go just for 1 discharge here now with our Galvantula. Galvantula going to go ahead and knock them straight out here, and we will be able to win this game as well. But yeah, Galvantula itself, very cool Pokemon. I enjoyed it a lot, but sometimes, like, especially in this scenario here, for example, as far as I know from the times where I played my own Galvantula before it was Shadow, the matchup here is pretty okayish for you if you just go to the 2-shield scenario, because you will be able to basically get the attack so low from the opponent's Swampert that you will be able to survive the final Hydro Cannon from them. But like this, I'm pretty sure the final Hydro Cannon here would knock me out, but the opponent just decides to let the move go through anyway, allowing me to farm them down. We see the Altaria coming in. Of course, Altaria, the Pokemon that I'm pretty weak to, coming in here immediately. I'm gonna get a lot of damage against them though. Here, of course, the Shadow Bonus really helped me to get the damage on them, putting them into a range where I might be able to farm them down later on. Already here, the Body Slam going to do a pretty decent amount of damage. As we see the Sky Attack coming through, we see a Sableye coming in. This is not what I want to face here, and this is most likely going to be a loss here as well. There's not a lot that I can do about it. Like having a Sableye plus an Altaria as a backline, they're going to be tough to deal with for me, as I'm going to have, of course, now my Medicham, which I have to align. I have to try to catch the move here now on my Galvantula. It didn't work out. So this is going to be a good game there. There's not a lot that I can do about it. This was actually the first game that I played with this team here, and I think I kind of misplayed this. Let's see. We see the Medicham against us in lead here. We can go ahead and go for the lunge. lunge coming through here, going to do hopefully a lot of damage. Yeah, they're going to let this move go through, and I will be able to shield up the next move coming in. Going to might be a Psychic, but it's very likely an Ice Punch. This matchup also kind of is a little bit tough. You always win this in the 2-shield scenario, just because you see here the fast move damage going to add up enough to farm him down. But we don't want to give up another shield, so I'm going to swap into my double. We'll be able to get some nice energy, and we can only see a Registeel coming in. I can go for 5 fast moves here, as I would win CMP anyway, go for the Wild Charge, and do a lot of damage against them, forcing them to throw their own charge move here, but getting me basically a lot of energy now on my Medicham, which can use later on hopefully to hit something hard with our charge moves. Let's see what they're going to go for. They're most likely going to go for the Zapcan here, trying to debuff me, and they're gonna get the debuff, which gives me more energy, but also less damage output now, which is sad, because we have the Skarmory against us here again. Not really the best matchups for me this game here, but I will be able to get the shield here with the bait. And because I got the attack debuff here, I won't be able to, like, I would have just stayed in otherwise, but here I have to go for the one Psychic as well. I just barely won't be able to farm them all the way down, it feels like, because I think they have 2 moves stored now already. They're gonna go for one Scale Attack, and they have another one stored. If I just got one more counter in somewhere, I would have been able to win this game here for sure, but like this, I am sadly not able to, and the opponent going to be able to take this game home. Good game there, very close one though. We see a very decent lead for us. We see Deoxys in the lead. They could just go straight for their charge move with the Psycho Boost, which they'll outspeed me to. Like, I need 12 turns for my first moves, and they need always then 10 turns compared. So they always get like in the middle of my third Volt Switch, which is kind of good for them. But here I will be able to go for another lunge. We already debuffed them once, we debuffed them twice here, and I can shield up the next move as well if I want to. And it's most likely going to be a Psycho Boost. Exactly, because it will allow them to get to another move a little bit faster. We can go ahead and now go for maybe even a farm down, I don't know. Or actually they do a lot of damage here. If I didn't have a Shadow version there, I would have been better off, I think, because I would have been able to survive some more moves here. But still, we're going to see now the Obstagoon against our double, because we're going to outspeed them as we outspeed them in general. We need 9 turns for one Body Slam, they need 10 turns for their charge moves. I will be able to actually win the matchup against them, which is kind of sad. I would have wished that I would have got the Medicham against them. But we still have our own move stored now on our Galvantula, which might come in clutch later on. Let's see, we see the Psycho Boost coming through, and we're going to see them swapping out soon, I guess. No, they're going to go for another Psycho Boost. They're trying to get me lower, and they have an Umbreon in the back. I don't really want to catch a move here from the Umbreon onto my Galvantula, so I'm going to let them throw one first, and then I'm going to try to swap onto their charge move, or like onto their fast move into my Galvantula, trying to get to my lunge, which I'm going to actually after my own charge move here. Kinda risky, but guess worked out, knocked them out, and farmed them down as well. Good there for Galvantula, very nice one for the end game there. Very well played. We see another Altaria, the Pokemon that I don't want to face. I can just go straight for the discharge because this will do a ton of damage, and we will see here as well that they're going to let this move go through, putting them into range for one Body Slam already, which is amazing for me. But still, this game is kind of tough to still beat. We will see the Registeel coming in here. And I have a tough choice to make here, because I will be able to go for 2 Wild Charges. This will put them very low, and I have 3 choices now. Either A, I will shield my double, farm them down with my fast move, which would actually work out, and in my opinion might be even the best play here. Or B, I go into my Medicham, or C, I go into my Galvantula. I decide to go into my Medicham here, which might not be the correct play. We will see. We will see a Tapu Fini. That's going to be a tough one. In hindsight, I guess it was not the worst play to do though, but here we're going to swap into our Galvantula. We're going to be able to get the Altaria alone. We can get to another charge move here, allowing us to save our 2 shields for the matchup against the opponent's Tapu Fini. And we can now go ahead and go for one more Psychic, I guess. The one Psychic should basically put them already into the red half here. We're going to shield up the move. It's going to be a Surf, but they actually make a mistake here by going straight for another Surf. This allows me to know that this is going to be a Surf in general, meaning I can let this move go through. I think until, like, when we get to the next Psychic, we should be fine in terms of the counter damage that already got applied, but actually they just got the debuff anyway there. 10% chance to debuff the opponent's defense. Very nice for me. Going to be able to win this game here as we see a Galarian Stunfisk against us. This is going to be an interesting one. We will be able to go ahead and swap into our double. Going to be able to take those moves. Let's see what they want to go into. They're going to go into their Sableye. This is going to be an interesting one. We can go ahead and go for one more Wild Charge here, allowing us to do a half of the opponent's health. I'm going to go for one more fast move. I'm going to shield this move up here. At this point of time, they have the best answer for my lead already applied basically there, so they just want to keep the switch advantage, which allows me to bait them twice because it's an obvious shield from the opponent. And as they have a fast move that's double resisted against me, I will be able to just shield up the move here and I will be able to get to another wild charge, allowing me to knock them out, realign my Pokemon, get the opponent's Galarian Stunfisk. Oh, actually, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Trevenant coming in here, that's exactly not what I want to see. If they went to the Galarian Stunfisk, I would have got my Medicham aligned against them, but like this, I tried to catch the Shadow Ball here, didn't work out, they can knock me out and this is going to be a good game. Anything other than Trevenant in the bag would have been amazing for me, but sadly I face, of course, the one Pokemon I didn't want to face. We see a Staraptor in the lead, a Shadow Staraptor. Again, they actually do more damage here because I'm Shadow. I would have even got more energy or like in general had a better match up there if they weren't Shadow. But if I wasn't Shadow either. But here we see the opponent's Deoxys coming in. They're going to swap out now into Girafarig. They have a spicy team here for sure, like Girafarig plus Deoxys plus the Staraptor is kind of wild. We will be able to go for some Body Slam spam. They can go for one Thunderbolt if they want to here. I'm just going to let the move go through. I know already my match plan basically here. Trying to hit another lunge against the opponent later on just to debuff the attack from them. So I can go ahead and go into my Medicham, try to go for a move, but we see here the opponent's Deoxys. I think they know already at this point of time this game will be over. I will be able to go into my Galvantula, farm them all the way down and win this game. Good game to my opponent. Next up, we're going to see here Weezing. Galarian Weezing against us. This is going to be a tough one because they're going to be able to resist a lunge. I'm not really... like, I don't really want to throw it. They double resist lunge here as well. So I'm going to still throw it, but they're going to catch it on the Galarian Stunfisk. Very nice from the opponent. This is a triple Galarian team. That would be funny. I don't know if it is. Like, I don't know the last Pokemon anymore. But this matchup going to allow me to farm them all the way down. I'm going to invest one shield against the Galarian Stunfisk because I have to take one Earthquake anyway. And the first one is guaranteed an Earthquake, but I don't know if they want to bait me on the second one. Here, for example, I will be able to get a ton of energy. And we see a Meganium. This is not a triple Galarian team, sadly, but Meganium will not like the Ice Punches here for sure. Meganium is actually an interesting Pokemon, a little bit bulkier than other grass types in this meta right now. Still having access to Frenzy Plant and a good coverage move on Earthquake. But it always feels like it misses something there. Maybe it's the fast move, I don't know. Here, we're just going to bait the opponent, thinking that I might go for the discharge, but I don't go for the discharge. Now, they are shields down, they are debuffed, and I can just go ahead and go into my Dubwool. Dubwool will be a very bulky boy. Dubwool will be able to take those moves pretty easily, and I can go ahead and go for some Body Slams. That should do enough, but they're actually going to go for the Overheat, allowing me now to at least take the moves a little bit easier. Body Slam coming through, Body Slam going to do a ton of damage. I can go for another Body Slam, knocking them straight out. They don't have shields anymore, and we will be able to win this final game here as well, farming them all the way down. So yeah, Galvantula, it feels like that this Pokemon is a lot of fun to play. It worked out well, 7-3, I cannot say anything against it. But I don't think it's way better than the normal one. I think the normal one might be a little bit better, a little bit more bulk, helps this Pokemon out way more than the damage that it deals here, but it's a fun one to use, so definitely try to get one. It's difficult to get one, like try to grind the event, it's not really easy, but hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!